both of you. Tóquenlos. Buena suerte a ambos.
Juan Manuel Marquez waited years to escape the shadows of his more famous Mexican countrymen who fought pretty much in the same weight class, Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales. He has finally outdistanced them now as he continues to reign as the legitimate lightweight champion of the world. Here's Diaz again to try to take that championship from him. This chant is for Marquez.
You know, it isn't amazing that they holler Mexico, Mexico, even though Diaz is a Mexican-American, Marquez is a Mexican from Mexico. You really can feel the national pride that they have for Marquez compared to Diaz.
Yeah, and the chanting in the fight last year was for Diaz because we were in Houston, where virtually everybody was rooting for him. Marquez came through that fine. Now he seems to have the house on his side.
He's been in so many exciting fights here. You look at the fights he's had with Pacquiao here, you know, Barrera, Mayweather. So, you know, eventually, and has performed pretty good in all of those fights, never been stopped. So you develop respect through years of hard work. Still wants another match with Pacquiao. Still believes that he deserved to be the winner in each of their two fights. One draw, one one-point loss against Manny Pacquiao. That's Marquez's dossier. Outside of the knockdowns, he actually won more rounds in both fights, but the knockdowns worked against him. 3 knockdowns in the first round of the first fight, a knockdown in the second round of the second fight. Those are the reasons that he did not beat Manny Pacquiao. Yep. Good body shot by Marquez. This has been a very tactical first round. Nothing like the storm that Diaz produced in Houston last year. Diaz is fighting a very smart. I just don't like the way his hand defense is just too wide for me. But that's the way he's been trained. His defense is too easy to get hit to me. He's trying to outbox a boxer. Yep, and Marquez is selling in there and timing him. That's the reason that it's difficult to do this against Marquez. Look at the brilliant skills. Well, Diaz said that he was impressed watching Mayweather's jab when he fought with Marquez. And that's why I figured he would try to box more, but it's just not his style. Diaz got in a good left hook. Marquez, for all his great skill, has never been that difficult to hit. He's an offensive fighter. Hard right hand by Diaz. And the fight is beginning to produce some of the intensity and some of the fireworks that we saw last year. But it's going to get hot and heavy. You can see the look in Marquez's eyes. And he got hit with those punches. He wants to get even right away.
Good round, good round. Now that's what I'm talking about. Look, that was a good round, okay? Now listen. When he's coming forward, okay? Then you could just use your boxing skills, okay? That's all I want you to do. Use your boxing skills. Okay, now listen. Add your feints to it, though, okay? Look, but when...
Throw the uppercuts. Catch him. Bring your hands up. Bring your hands up big. That's it. When you're in there, lively and use your combination. More punches.
Here you see Marquez take advantage of that hands on the side position of Diaz by punching punches right through the center. A left uppercut and a straight right hand right between the gloves. 2 of Marquez's 18 power shot connects in the round. Altogether, he landed 25 out of 57 punches. Better numbers than the 14 out of 48 for Diaz. Diaz used to average routinely 70, 80, sometimes 90 punches per round. In the last 2 fights, against Paulie Malignaggi, he was reduced to 49 shots per round. A very low punch output, it seems, for him. And the first round here, more of the same. This is what happens when Diaz tries to box better.
instead of just fighting.
Yeah, Diaz is fighting a very good fight at this stage here. A very, very good fight. And if he can keep doing that, he has a much better chance than fighting the way that he fought his first fight, trying to fight as if it's going to be a 3 or 4 round fight.
Is that simply because he won't give Marquez as many counter-punching opportunities?
Well, yes, it would definitely cut down. And also, you can't get tired with Marquez. One of the best technicians in boxing where it comes to making adjustments as the fight goes on. Look at his first fight with Pacquiao. Down 3 times. First round, and then won the fight from that point on. And just because of the knockdowns, he ended up with a draw. But made great adjustments as the fight progressed.
Marquez is so confident in his uppercut that he will reach for it from what would seem like outrageous distances.
Yes, because he's in most of his punches, he never throws too many shots over the top. You notice he shoots his jabs and his punches mostly between the gloves of Diaz.
Diaz is doing a much better job of creating space than was the case last year.
Much better job.
He's not in harm's way as often as he was last year, and there's a very good left hook by the Baby Bull. And another good left hook. Great jab by Marquez, stopping Diaz in his tracks.
But right at this stage, Diaz is fighting a very good fight. I mean, much better fight than I expected and probably most people. And maybe even his own corner. Perfect fight for him.
Is he winning rounds, though?
I don't know. They're close. They're both close. Nobody's dominating yet at this stage.
I agree. Both missed big left hooks in the last 10 seconds, trying to take the other guy's head right off.
You put that little left up a little bit up. And he can't touch you. He can't hurt you with that right. 1. Close your eyes. 1. And listen, be explosive. When you throw that left hook, change it to the uppercut. There's a hole there. You can take advantage of that. And take that right hook.
Go to the cut. I don't want you to reach for it, okay? But you can hit with the right hand all day. But go with the stiff jab, boom, shoot, set him up for the right hand. Deep breath, let it go. On your hook, get too high, okay? Get that behind jab. On your hook, get too high. Relax, baby. Everything is good. Everything is good. Beautiful round, okay?
You gotta move all the time, one.
CompuBox numbers in round 2 again favored Marquez 24 out of 52. Diaz 17 of 48. But of course, judges don't see CompuBox. Judges don't score on the basis of that. They form a more impressionistic view. Harold knows CompuBox, but doesn't allow himself to be guided by it. Harold, how'd you score the first 2?
Okay, Jim, 20-18, 2 rounds to nothing, one Manuel Marquez. You know, Jim, it's a very interesting fight. For 2 minutes of each of the first 2 rounds, one Manuel Marquez just outboxed Juan Diaz with that left hand. Left uppercuts, left jabs, doubled up on the left hand. And then in the last minute of each of the first 2 rounds, Diaz stages a rally. You know, makes it look close. The place goes nuts. Everybody's yelling Diaz. But truth of the matter is, Marquez outboxed him, you know, for the better part of the first 2 rounds. 2-0, Juan Manuel Marquez.
Now, what's forbidding about that is that a very competent judge, one of the best in the world, Harold Letterman, gives 2 rounds to Marquez when Emmanuel Stewart says that Diaz is boxing as well as he possibly can.
Yes, not necessarily that he's winning, but I think the rounds are very close. And it could be that Marquez has won the first 2, or either Diaz, you never can tell. But it's a very good fight, and I think that Diaz is really impressing me a lot. And, you know, we have 2 good cornermen, too. We have Ronnie Shields, who's a very good trainer, and
Nacho
Yeah,
Beristain.
Nacho Beristain, who is one of my favorites, because all of his fighters are fundamentally very sound.
What's your take on Nacho? What kind of a trainer is he?
I think he's a wonderful trainer. One of the best, I think, in the history of boxing. And because all his fighters, Ricardo Lopez, all of them are basically fundamentally good. He didn't work so good with Oscar because the chemistry and stuff wasn't there, but fighters who he's trained in the beginning, very good.
Fascinating. Beristain says that he favors the technical art of boxing because that's what gives a fighter a chance to still be healthy when his career's over. Look at the kind of wars both Marquez brothers have been in all the way through their careers.
Yep.
This is another very good fight. Not as intense as last year in Houston, but very good.
But you can see that the war in both of them is starting to come out. I'm looking at the eyes of Marquez, and you can see him turning into a tiger, man. And Diaz is not going to back down to so much. The fight's going to get pretty heated up going down the stretch here.
Crowd is loving what they're seeing in the third round in Vegas. Juan Manuel Marquez back at work in his comfort zone as a lightweight.
Diaz has been very successful with that straight left through the center that he's been landing.
Marquez lands a big right hand and a sweeping left hook. Diaz feels the need to come back right away. And they trade shots down the stretch.
You're boxing beautiful, okay? All you gotta do is just keep boxing like that. Everything is good.
Don't be waiting
Look,
long.
now listen. What I don't want you to do right now is get in exchanges. You don't have to. You're boxing good on the outside, okay? Give me a deep breath, let him out. You want some Gatorade?
Nah, I'm good.
No, we're good with the Gatorade. Okay? Listen. Look, you have to be smart with this guy, okay? Look.
With your left, we're going to do good. You're going to catch him. And with your left hand, keep it up so his doesn't get in. Throw the left hook and the uppercut with the right hand. Catch him.
CompuBox numbers in the third round again favor Marquez. 26 out of 64 to 17 out of 51 for Diaz. So Juan Diaz is doing as well as he can within the boxing style he's chosen for this fight. At least that's my estimation of it. And Marquez is simply doing better because this is the style in which he's fought most of his career. They trade left hooks.
And you know, Diaz is fighting like a basically fundamental type fighter himself. And almost a same version to some degree of Marquez himself for this fight. And it's amazing how both of them have been very effective with their left jabs tonight.
These two first met when Juan Diaz, at age 16, went to a boxing card in Mexico, walked up and introduced himself to the great champion. Marquez said he was such a nice kid. Then they taunted each other at the weigh-in before the fight last year. That's what boxing is. You have to fight. Terrific uppercut by Marquez. Wobbled Diaz. Diaz is still hurt. Still doesn't have his legs all the way back. Marquez measuring. Hard right hand by Marquez inside. Diaz showing a lot of guts right now, trying to get his legs back. And for once, Juan Diaz allows himself to stay away and doesn't try to fight back at a moment when he's hurt.
So far, he's done a great job of surviving. He was hurt, but he kept his focus, I think, for the most part. But, you know, because he's not the type of guy that would tie up and clinch.
No, he'll never clinch. In the past, when he's hurt,
But
he wades in and asks for
but
more.
at least he didn't go into an exchange while he was hurt.
Exactly. First perilous moment of the fight for Diaz. And again, Marquez created it with that brilliant uppercut of his.
He's a very, very dangerous fighter. Places punches very well, knows just where to throw the punches to.
Good left hook in there by Marquez. Now Diaz asserting the jab, trying to create more space. Marquez steps in with an over-the-top right hand. 10 seconds left in the round. First small nightmare of the fight for Diaz, but he survives it. Marquez has every reason to believe he's in control.
Give me the water, give me the water. Look, we lost that round, okay? Listen, you know why? You stood right in front of him. And look, make your turns, and you gotta fire back when you make your turns, okay? Give me a deep one, let it out. Deep breath. Now listen, keep adding your feints to it, okay? But look, when the guys...
You're doing good, you okay? Yes. Let's see, close your eyes. When you're in there, show him your style, show him your class. Uppercut, left, uppercut. And then with a hook and right hand. That uppercut in the right hand, got him.
Here, once again, we see Marquez learning the left uppercut. Most all of his punches in both fights that have been effective have been punches up through the center. And Diaz recuperated from the punch very well.
Water over here.
Power punches through the fourth round. Marquez 61 of 109. Diaz 28 out of 80. Diaz not doing too badly. Marquez brilliant. Sticks the jab right into Diaz's mouth. Every round, it looks to me as though Marquez's right eye is going to open up and start bleeding. Every round, Nacho Barracin is able to hold it off. This may be the picture book boxing round of Juan Diaz's whole
Yes,
career.
and I was watching his footwork too. Every time Marquez starts getting set, I can see Diaz move away, change up, something I never thought I would see him doing.
And still he gets hit with a flush right hand. Another Marquez innovation, a right hand lead, and he does it again.
Marquez is so smart, so good on anticipation of your body movement.
Every time you see Manny Pacquiao, you're tempted to say, well, Manny's the best offensive fighter in the sport. Then you see Marquez and you say, wait a minute, look what he does. Hey!
Que se te
Don't let him get out of your zone, out of your area. Very good, very good. You're doing very good. Those uppercuts, those are going to be good. Don't let him go out of your zone. Bring them up with that left. You're dominating him right there in the center of the ring.
I need you to use them fast hands and then step around this guy, okay? But I need more punches from you now, okay? Let's go. But look, when you finish punching, when you close to him, run your combination, make your turns, and then get out of there, okay? And use your face. I need a lot of feints from you right now. Stay low, okay?
Here you see Marquez land a rare right hand. He hasn't thrown that many of them, but a beautiful overhand right hand that caught right on the chin. And as the fight goes on, accumulation of a lot of those foul punches may take their effect right now. Right now, he's being able to get by, moving away. Diaz is boxing. I think he's fighting a very beautiful fight.
Harold, how do you have it through 5?
Okay, Jim. 4 rounds to 1. 49-46. One Manuel Marquez. You know, Jim, we used to call this kid Juan Diaz the baby bull. He ain't the baby bull no more. He circles, he throws a jab, he circles again to, so that he's not in front of Marquez. Marquez, fighting flat-footed, is nailing him with real good shots. Good, hard left hands. On the other hand, Diaz, he's got that flicking jab. Once in a while he jumps in with it, but he always keeps circling. He doesn't bull in anymore like he used to. He doesn't come in with real hard power shots. You notice? Stays on the outside. It's not the baby bull style. He's become a boxer from the outside. 4-1, Marquez.
Well, this is a decision that Diaz made to box against Juan Manuel Marquez. And, frankly, you can question that decision. I certainly do. But on the other hand, he fought something more like his original style in the first fight against Marquez last year, and it didn't serve him well. He got picked apart. So at least he has the guts to try to make a change. But the change goes against the grain of common wisdom in the sport.
I agree with you. I guess after those terrible beatings he took from Nate Campbell and Marquez, it was easy to make a decision to try to change. But he needs to do a little bit more of his old stuff in addition to the boxing.
It actually began with a victory. It began when he defeated Michael Katsidis in Houston in September of 2008 by boxing more than he had up to that point. But that wasn't boxing with a boxer. That was boxing with a slugger. That's what you're supposed to do.
It's a big difference. Very few boxers throughout history can fight one particular style and do what Barrera did. Change his career from being an aggressive slugger to the last half of his career being one of the best technicians in boxing. And I don't think anyone else will ever be able to do that.
Andre Ward seems to fight in a slightly different style in every fight.
He makes adjustments very well. Whatever's necessary to win a fight, he is able to do it.
Marquez's face shows some damage from the early punches that Diaz landed in the fight.
Mainly those jabs of Diaz. That's his most effective punch that he's landed. And a few high left hooks right on the top of the gloves, but for the most part, it's his left jabs.
Brilliant stuff from Juan Manuel Marquez. Ronnie Shields, between rounds, seemed to be asking Juan Diaz to go back to something more like his original style, at least to throw more punches, throw more combinations. But that's a hard thing to do when you've already fought 5 rounds the other way.
And especially the beatings that he's taken before, too.
Diaz is holding his own and surviving, but Juan Manuel Marquez is winning the fight.
Listen, you start out good, and then all of a sudden you start backing out. You can't back out, remember? You got to go around them, okay? But look, when you throw your combination, when you double and triple your jab, he can't counter with the right hand, okay? So don't let him, so just keep doubling and tripling the jab up.
Here's a Marquez combination, Emmanuel. Watch this. Landed, landed, landed.
And that's all why Diaz had his hands up. He still found a way to penetrate through his defense.
Let's take a look at a punch zone graphic, which will show you where Juan Manuel Marquez's punches are landing. Pretty well distributed. 112 punches to the head, 29 to the body. He's not a big body puncher, but he will mix it in. In the last 3 rounds, Diaz has gotten off 37, 38, and 56 punches. So the 56 is a little more like what Ronnie Shields might be looking for. The 37 and 38, the trainer was getting frustrated. There's one of the Marquez body shots. Diaz was most effective against Marquez in the first 3 rounds of last year's fight, when he was clearly fighting as the baby bull, pressuring Marquez, throwing as many punches as he could, bullying the opponent into the corner. Frankly, I think he needs to go back to that.
I think he's got to change it up some. He's boxed to a certain degree, but you know, right now Marquez is systematically picking him apart, placing his punches, and he's going to have to be a little bit more physical and use his youth. If he can, but I don't know if he can do that at this stage of his career after the punishment he's taken in so many of those fights.
There's no shame in getting picked apart by Juan Manuel Marquez. You simply leave yourself open to the question, why did you try to box with a boxer? A master boxer. Step one toward being a great offensive fighter is you've got to be unafraid of getting hit, unconcerned about it. Marquez clearly fills that bill. Hard right hand on the top of the head by Marquez. Diaz took that pretty well. That was the kind of punch that often wobbles a guy.
At the end of most every round, seems like Marquez gets some good volley going.
Well, at this point, they have fought nearly 16 rounds against each other, incidentally, without a single clinch. And clearly Marquez is confident that he knows the holes in Diaz's defense.
Yeah, but Diaz's movement is creating a problem for Marquez. Yeah, I can see that. Marquez can't get set the way he did the first fight.
Keep using, look, keep doubling and tripling that jab up like that, okay? But when you get close, look, yeah, I don't want no jabs to the body, okay? Because you're starting to lean with the jab to the body, okay? Give me a deep breath, let them out slow. Now listen, use your feints as always, okay? But look, double and triple the jab. But when you get close now, we gotta bear down now.
Okay.
Okay? Look, keep your hand.
Just like you have it, just like you're boxing there with the combinations. He's hitting me with the glove, the thumb. The left, just the left. Come on, work it, and the uppercut. Go back to the
May have
uppercut.
seen the graphic a few moments ago, which demonstrated that Juan Diaz has landed fewer than half as many punches tonight in the first 7 rounds than was the case a year ago in Houston. That's reflective of the dramatic change in style for this fight. Power punches through 7. Marquez 100 out of 183, 55%. What an accurate puncher. And Diaz 43 of 129, 33%. Not bad. Not bad against a quality opponent. Marquez complaining between rounds that he had been thumbed in the right eye. That right eye is beginning to swell significantly and may represent the best opportunity in the fight for Diaz.
That's correct, and as a matter of fact, I was noticing when Nacho Berenstein went over to complain to the referee, and the referee went to the corner. But it's very difficult to do with the modern gloves that they have where the thumb is attached. It's just probably that the thumb went across it, but I don't think it was an open thumb type situation. But that has been the most effective punch for Diaz tonight, has been his left jab.
Well, if this continues the way it started out, then at the end of the evening, we may be talking about Juan Diaz having lost 4 of his last 6 fights. But give him credit. Those fights came against Nate Campbell, Michael Katsidas, Juan Manuel Marquez, twice with Paulie Malignaggi, and Marquez again.
And that's a impressive list of opponents.
You would be hard-pressed to find any fighter in the sport outside of, say, Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather, who has fought a catalog of opponents like that.
And I am very impressed with him tonight. I feel he's losing the fight, but his boxing ability, I can actually see he's not leaning and getting off balance like I thought he would with his jab. And his movement is being a problem right there. As soon as Marquez starts to go forward, he kind of moves his body back, something he didn't do before. So they have been really, really training very hard and studying film for this fight.
Landed a left hook in that trade.
Yeah, you see how the crowd, which was a pro-Marquez crowd, but you see how they all can switch for the underdog as the fight progresses. Every time Diaz lands a punch, now the crowd starts cheering him on.
You can't dislike the kid. He's as lovable as anyone in the sport.
Now listen, yeah, the jab is working for you, but keep doubling and tripling it, okay? Double and triple it, but he's still trying to set you up for the right hand, okay? But look, double and triple it, but then add your feints, okay? Now look, I need you to get a little closer and just work some combinations from me, okay? All right, we got to change something now, okay? Let's push him with it. What round is this? 9th round, okay? We got 4 rounds left, okay? We got to push it now.
It's the ninth round. Hey, you're winning them all. You're winning them all. Don't stop leading, please. He can come up with a reaction and then impress. Keep that left up. All left, all left. Don't let him come in. Don't let him come in. All lefts.
Round 9 begins. You heard Ronnie Shields asking Diaz to step it up. Harold, how have you got it right now?
79, 73, 7 rounds to 1. Juan Manuel Marquez. You know, Jim, I just don't think Juan Diaz can stand on the outside and do what he's doing right now and win the fight. In other words, just throwing that occasional left jab. No combinations, no real hard right hands. He's not pulling in. Juan Manuel Marquez just nails him with good, hard, solid shots because he fights flat-footed and throws 3, 4, 5 punches at a time, just like you saw there. Juan Diaz just absolutely spends too much time on the outside, not enough time on the inside, doing some damage. 7-1, Marquez.
Well, I think right now, Ronnie Shields gave him great instructions. He fought a good fight. He's losing it, but it's still been a good fight. The jab has worked effectively. Marquez's eyes virtually closed now. This is the time, if you want to say, well, I want to just go the distance, not get knocked out. I can keep doing what I'm doing. And if I want to go for the victory, now is the time I will try to step it up. Because Marquez is handicapped by that eye injury.
Hard left hand and a hard right hand by Marquez. Diaz wobbled again. And when Juan Diaz clinches, and that's the first clinch in the 2 fights, you know he's in big trouble. It's the constant accuracy of Marquez. It's the fact he lands so many punches right on the button.
I've been very impressed with Diaz's defense. Every time he's gotten hurt, though, he's very seldom got hit with another punch right away, which is something he never would have did before. His defense has been pretty good, and he clinched for the first time.
Yep, fighting smarter than before.
Dangerous man, Marquez, though. I mean, all the time he's such a dangerous man because he's very intelligent, and his variety of punches is just unbelievable.
And the flaming intensity, his concentration,
it's
his
very
focus,
intense.
it's extraordinary.
Very competitive man.
He never misses an opportunity. The right eye is swelling badly. There's blood trickling from his right nostril. And still, Juan Manuel Marquez is focused on the task of chopping down Juan Diaz. this point, Diaz, from my perspective, needs to throw himself, the ringside clock, the bell which they ring between rounds, and all of our monitors at Marquez.
Yes.
It's his only chance.
But what is his goal now? Is it to box, not get knocked out, or to try to win the fight? In the next few rounds, he's got to make that decision.
Blood coming from the mouth of Diaz now. And if he had trouble focusing in Mexico against Nate Campbell and in Houston last year with blood streaming down his face, how hard will it be as he tastes the blood flowing into his mouth?
Joe Chavez. Come on. His mouth is left. Come on. Here it is. Come on, Joe, get in. Go down, Dirty. With that left. One. Now listen. When you double and triple the jab, everything is good, okay? Left.
No vayas a dejar que tenga una reacción.
Don't stop pressing. Don't let him react. Don't let him build. Blow. All the left. With the left, you're catching them all. He's hitting them all. You're catching him with all that left.
Ninth round was very one-sided. 26 of 58 for Marquez. Diaz only threw 28 punches, landed only 6. He was on the defensive most of the time. More than 20 seconds passed between rounds before Joe Chavez, the cut man, was able to get into position to look at Diaz's lip. It appears to be torn at the lower right edge.
Bad cut on the right, right edge of the lower lip.
And you don't know how much of the cut is inside the mouth. So Diaz now has that to deal with, and as we pointed out, his response to his own blood against both Campbell and last year against Marquez, not particularly encouraging. Marquez, of course, for his part, fought Pacquiao twice with blood streaming down his face, and it never really bothered him.
He's a true experienced warrior. You know, Diaz is fighting, and it look like he's he's kind of satisfied with his fight, even though we may not be and Ronnie Shields may. I think he's very satisfied with the fact that he's not in any serious trouble. I think he's very concerned about being knocked out.
Juan Diaz was very honest with us in his fighter meeting yesterday when he said, look, as a fighter, this is a must-win for me. I cannot afford to lose the fight. But as a man, that's not really true. I'm headed to law school. I have another life. And that, in the eyes of some, is another difference in the fight. Remember, Diaz graduated from college a few months ago, earned a college degree while fighting at the peak of his career. Pretty amazing. And will take the law school admissions test in October. Let's hope it's easier than this.
Diaz seems to be very comfortable working behind the left jab more than anything else. That's a punch he can land without taking too many risks. And he seems to feel whatever that can do for me, whether win or lose, I'm going to stick to that. I'm not going to take too many risks tonight. And if that can be, when I start opening up with the wide punches, I can get hit more. So he's not throwing too many hooks, all right hands.
With a brain like his and a life like his, he shouldn't take any chances.
I would like to see him open up a little bit more the last round. I think he would do much better than he thinks.
you're winning the fight. You slow down a little bit. It seems you're tired.
Mother yourself when you get them on the ropes, okay? Look, run your combinations up, all right? Don't forget the uppercuts, though, okay? You got uppercuts too, but turn and throw yours, okay? And look, combinations, okay? Keep your hand closed tight and fire them punches in there, all right? Let's go, baby. Now look, when you finish punching, move your head. Don't stand right in front of them, okay?
The valiant Ronnie Shields never gives anything but his very best effort. Such passion, such care for the fighters. So many hard luck losses in big fights over the years.
Juan Diaz is very special to him and Willie Savannah because they've had him since he was a little kid. When he came into the gym, I think he was about 110 pounds when he was 10 years old, I think. So it's a little bit more emotions they have with this guy than most of the fighters that they are involved with training and managing.
The 10th round was one-sided, 30 of 63 for Marquez, 9 of 55 for Diaz. Marquez with a 56-15 connect advantage according to CompuBox in the last 2 rounds. And as a good left hook by Diaz. He got an opportunity and he nailed him. But seems satisfied with what he's doing.
Yeah, for the most part, he's still satisfied with going the distance in this fight. But, you know, I think that if he stepped it up a little bit, he may be surprised at what he could do himself, especially with that bruise, or that closed, really, right eye of Marquez's.
Well, it's a very professional effort by Diaz. Maybe that's what he wanted to prove to himself. And he can fight all the way through and execute a plan against a great fighter like Marquez.
And no one has taken the kind of punishment that he's taken with his fight with Nate Campbell and the first fight with Marquez. So it's easy for us to sit here and say he should do this or do that, but he's got to have some kind of psychological damage in addition to maybe physical damage from those terrible beatings. See, now that he's pushing Marquez back, you can see the difference. That's what I said the last 2 rounds. He should have stepped it up a little bit, even at a risk. But he should step it up. I think Marquez is a little vulnerable now.
Yeah, in this
even though he's still a puncher, but I still think he's a little more vulnerable.
Yeah, in this round, clearly Marquez's intensity has dropped. Perhaps because Nacho Beristain keeps telling him in the corner between rounds that he's winning every round. If you hear the trainer say that enough, after a while you figure, well, I banked a bunch. And of course, all logic is that he has banked a bunch.
Yes, he's won the fight up to the stage here, but Diaz has been a very good performance. Because I mean, I thought if he'd have fought trying to box, he would not have been this successful. I've been very impressed with how well he's been able to box and maintain his balance and his defense tonight.
Well, but all that'll get him is a hard-earned loss. At this point, I hope, for his sake, that Ronnie Shields will say to him, 1 round to go, and if you want to win the fight, you must knock that man out.
All right, baby, last round. Now listen, I know, go ahead, Joe. Look, Juan, that's the last round. Okay, look, I don't want you to run in, okay? Don't run in with nothing. Okay, keep staying to your left because they can't see out the eye, okay? But look, keep doubling and tripling the jab up. But when you get close, sit down on your punches now. You're not sitting down on them uppercut. You're trying to throw fast punches. Okay? You're trying to throw fast punches, but now we need to sit down on them punches, okay?
There's 3 minutes. Don't go out going crazy. He's going to come out strong. Uppercuts. Use your uppercuts. Let your hands go on the uppercuts.
Here's a small CompuBox footnote. Marquez has landed the largest number of jabs tonight in any fight of his, tracked by CompuBox. Landing more jabs here than he did against the short-armed Rocky Juarez. Diaz, his one-time stablemate from Houston. Harold, how do you have it coming to the last round?
9 rounds to 2. 108 101, Juan Manuel Marquez. You know, Jim, the only 2 rounds that I gave to Juan Diaz were 2 rounds where I thought he was aggressive, where he kept, you know, where he rushed him, tried to get inside, and landed some decent shots. Now he's doing it, but it's too late. I mean, for the better part of the fight, Juan Diaz stood on the outside, tried to win it with a left jab, and was totally unsuccessful because Juan Manuel Marquez outbanged him. 9-2, Marquez.
No knockdowns in the fight, although Diaz has been wobbled at least twice.
Get him up, get him up.
Marquez never really in trouble, despite the look of that right eye. That you can attribute to the accumulation of punishment from Diaz's jab and occasional left hook, and also to the accumulation of punishment from Marquez's nearly 30 years of boxing.
That's true, and the tissues around your eyes are so easily inflamed when you've been boxing that long and been hurt so much. And that's part of like a tradition with him, is always his eyes recent has been between being cut and swollen up. It's something that you have to expect to some degree when you have so many fights like that.
If it ends as expected, it'll be the 51st victory of Marquez's career. Reestablishes for the boxing public his identity as the legitimate champion of the lightweight division, and sets him up for more down the road. What he really wants, but seems at this point unlikely to get, is a 3rd fight against Manny Pacquiao. Good left hook by Diaz. Marquez dropped his right glove casually and almost wasn't even paying attention.
No.
This time he beats Diaz to the punch as he's coming in.
I think this is still, even though he'll lose the decision, I think, me personally, I think inside Diaz has a victory for himself. I think the fact that he didn't get knocked out this fight, fought a fairly intelligent fight, I think that's a major victory to me, even though he won't get the decision, for himself.
Next up is the law school admissions test in October. And assuming that he then achieves admission and goes on to law school, it was one thing to fight and conduct a boxing career as an undergraduate. It would be another thing to try to do that while going to law school. A brilliant finish for the 2 fighters who produced the fight of the year last year. This will not be a candidate for the fight of the year, but it was an excellent, spirited fight between 2 outstanding boxers.
Average.
Marquez tours the ring, the shoulders of his cornerman. Nobody's going to bother to lift Juan up. There's no point in that kind of false bravado at this point. Let's quickly take a look at what happened in the fight as the 2 fighters await the judges' scorecards. Round 1, the beginning of the combat. We saw Diaz with the intensity and the boxing style, but that combination by Marquez set the tone for what would happen throughout the fight. Round 4, left uppercut by Marquez. I told you that Diaz was wobbled at least twice in the fight. That was one of them. Round 6, more combination punching from Marquez. Round 9, this combination opened a bad cut on the lower right part of Juan Diaz's mouth. And then the final flurry that finishes the fight as the 2 fighters give it their all down the stretch. And now Michael Buffer is not ready, but now he arrives. There's Michael. He flips on the microphone. He holds the sheet of paper in front of him. Let's go to him.
From the Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, we go to the scorecards. Jerry Roth, 116, 112. Glenn Trowbridge, 118, 110. Patricia Morris-Jarman, 117, 111. All to the winner by unanimous decision, and still lightweight champion of the world, Juan Manuel Dinamita